Welcome, everybody, back to episode number 30 of the Off the Rails podcast. I was just remarking to my co-host, Jems, about how I can't believe we've done 30 of these. We've really done like 35 because we had a Lions podcast to start this whole dang thing off. But it's been a little bit, so if we've left you waiting and you've been like, damn these off the rail guys, just know that Jems has lost 10 pounds involuntarily, and I had death in the family and a couple other things happened. So we kind of had to take a little forced break, but we are back with a vengeance. Jems, how are you feeling? Lighter and more agile?
Almost completely better. I'm still a little nervous on what I eat. So maybe it was a good like temporary feel like dog shit for a week thing.
Yeah.
Now I kind of watch what I eat because stuff still doesn't sit super well. I still have like cotton mouth too. So I was Googling it and it said that's just common with stomach bugs. So it'll eventually go away. But
That's crazy.
It needs to go away before fair starts because I just eat I eat terrible that week. But that's the best part about it.
The good thing about eating at like fairs and stuff though is that as long as you're not, because if it's hot, the move at the fair is you're going to eat at the fair. You're going to eat like cotton candy. You'll eat like funnel cakes. You'll eat like deep fried Snickers and Twinkies and probably like big old turkey legs and whatever. Like I'm thinking of all the.
Yeah, you're about right.
I definitely just figured out what we're going to be doing a draft on. But yeah, like you're walking around though a lot. So like as long as you stick to like water and coffee, I feel like you're good. It's like when you add in the soda with all that, that's when it's like you feel like dog shit.
So
beer too, probably.
It's a dry. They don't have beer there.
What?
Yeah, they tried to do it a few years back, and for some reason it got denied. But so we're set up like right outside the barn. Like we have like a canopy and chairs and stuff. So it's most of the time you go get your food and then you get back away from the people. So there's not. I try to walk in the mornings with like the girls and stuff to try to, a lot of times it's to get them to take a nap. So I try to walk around as much, but there is a lot of sitting. But you're also doing work and stuff. So
what are you doing at the fair?
Taylor's on the goat committee.
Okay.
So whatever crap needs done around the goat barn essentially is basically falls on me and her dad.
Nice.
This year her dad's on vacation and I have to work 2 days during fair week. Normally I'm off, so it works out pretty well. Gotcha. And Taylor's sister, this is her first year of showing animals because she's finally old enough.
Oh wow.
So
that's awesome.
Yep, she'll do goats, sheep, chickens, and mini equine, which is a horse.
Yeah, that's cool. So you guys are those yours or like you guys?
I mean, her parents have the barn and all the animals.
That's cool though.
I nodded like you could see like their house is right across the field.
I feel like it's right that way. It's like
yeah,
that totally. I almost just like did my dad. I think it's a military thing, but he's like my dad when I was a kid. He was like he's like, Dad, I want candy, and he was like, go to the store and get some with your brother. And I was like, I don't know where the store's at, Dad. Like, and this tells you a great parenting story too, by the way. Dad's about to send me somewhere that I've never been. He's like, your brother's been there. He's like, he knows. And I was like, can I get directions? I don't trust my brother in directions. And like, even when I was like 7, and he was like, this is how he always explained things. He's like, 20 clicks that way, 30 clicks that way. Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard clicks, but I don't know like what the not denomination, but I don't know how far a click is.
Yeah, it's weird when those things almost like come out though, because like I almost when you were like I nodded like I was like, oh, you're like it's 30 clicks that way, and I was like, I've never used that phrase one time ever in my life.
14 knots that way, 30 clicks that way.
I wonder if it has to do with like the shoes clicking, maybe.
I was thinking it was like some sort of dial, like maybe not like a compass, but like something to set.
Yeah.
Like a distance reader sort.
I wonder how messed up like life was back like when there was no like anything to really measure any of that stuff.
They just did put the heel to toe.
Like because could you imagine like you're like there because I think I had read a story. Maybe it was a Virginia settler, maybe, where they like came over from like England, and then they dropped stuff, and then they went back to England, and then they came back, and like they had no clue how long it really was. Someone's crunching ice in my kitchen, and I can't tell which kid just disappeared. No, but it's I'm like, how did they know? Like, they're like, oh, we left you with this food rations. We're gonna go back and get more food rations or whatever we need. And you're like, how do you know you're gonna get back before the weather because you didn't know the time?
Yeah, like I can't even imagine going across the ocean now on a boat. I can't imagine doing it on an old rickety wood ship.
Fudge, yeah, dude. Like also like just like the unknown too, right? Because like when Columbus, my dog's now freaking out at whoever's in my living room. Um, like when Columbus left, right? Like he was trying to find unknown things, really.
Right.
Like so, like back then they had no clue. They thought the Earth was like flat and shit, like Kyrie Irving, and like, and they were just like they thought they legitimately were like we could like meet a fucking dragon in the middle of the ocean, like
Yeah. Well, and they were like, so somebody's going to get more food rations. Like,
yeah.
it might just not come back. You would never know. Like, it'd be like, well, I guess it's been 50 days now and nobody's here. So they either got lost or all died.
Which probably happened more often than we realized.
Right. That and like the rampant chlamydia on the ships and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Like, maybe this is definitely totally off the rails. How my dog is like the worst, but I'm trying to make sure she's done. So, interesting story about my dog. We've had her like 7 months now. We've had the other dog like a year and a half. The dog that's barking right now is literally like an expensive breed dog. Like we paid a lot of money for her, mostly because she's hyperallergenic and my daughter can actually pet her. She hates our cat, like to the point where like she wants to kill her. Like if we didn't like, I've never had an animal conflict like that.
Our bulldog hates black cats. He's a racist bulldog, apparently. We have I think they call it blue, but she's like silver almost, the color cat. And they get along, they'll cuddle and stuff. But anytime we've brought another cat in that's like primarily black, he wants to murder it. It's insane.
That's wild. I wonder how he'd fare with ours, because ours is like half white, half black.
We had a black and white cat, and they were fine for a little bit, and then he just started hating it, and we had to find a new home for it.
Yeah, because it's weird, because I'm like, the cat's super chill and easy. I grew up with cats. My parents, we never had a dog. And then my wife's had dogs. So I've had both, but like the cat's just like super chill. It's like lays on a couch upstairs in the loft like 95% of the time, just super chill. We still have a baby gate though on our gate, on our stairs, or something for, just because it keeps the dogs from going upstairs, because that way the cat doesn't die, basically. It's like
we have the baby gate, but that's so the kids don't fall down the stairs. We never had a baby gate. We didn't have to put anything in light sockets or anything.
Yeah.
She was just like baby proofed herself. She's like the most cautious kid ever. But then when we got the foster baby's brother, we had to put the gates back up. We had to put stuff in the thing. He was into everything. Our foster baby is into that. Okay. I don't think it matters, but it probably should. That point where she's into everything, and she'll like stand at the top of the gate and like shake it. I'm like, do not do that. Yeah. She's tall too. She's like 18 months closed at just like 2 weeks past the year old.
Jeez. We never had one at the top of the stairs. We only have them at the bottom of the stairs to keep them from going up the steps, because we would always like walk them down and they'd never be upstairs by themselves. But now like my son's 4 and he like rolls around in the loft a little bit, and like you can kind of see like it's a quick step. He could just fall down the steps, but like he's 4. But one time I did almost lose him down the basement steps. Similar situation when he was like way young. He was just starting to like pull himself up on stuff, not really walking. I had all the same kids. It was the summertime. I was like watching them because for some reason my sister doesn't have like childcare in the summertime. So she has most of the days of the week covered, but I covered the 2 days that I'm off for her. So I was making dinner and I heard like those wood ones that like kind of like they have like the plastic piece. I heard the plastic piece like move and I kind of looked over and I was like, he's leaning up against it. And I was like, I'll move him in a second. I was like, just trying to finish getting all the dinner on the thing. And then I heard like it again. And I like turned and I walked over and I saw him. And like right as I was walking towards him, the gate popped and he surfed it down like 3 steps. I luckily I dove like I was catching a ball at shortstop. I dove and I got his ankle. And like, so he was on top of the baby gate, like this, like down, and like surfed it down. But he would have gone down all of the steps. Like, had I not taken that step, I would have told it.
The other night, it was Monday night last week. We went to see my nephews. They're 11-year-old twin boys, and I was like playing baseball and football and stuff with them. And we got home and we're cleaning out the car, put foster baby to bed.
There's none left.
And Claire was in the house, so I was cleaning out the van, but I was carrying Piper, the newborn, well, not 5 months old now. And I thought I shut the garage door, like the man door, going into the house completely.
Yeah.
And I was kicking my shoes off, so I leaned up against it, and the door wasn't shut all the way. So I went falling, and I'm holding the baby, so I spun and just landed on my back, and my lower back hurt like a motherfucker. And that's when I woke up Tuesday morning and my whole body hurt, which I assumed that was from playing with my nephews and then falling.
Yeah.
And
but you were sick, though.
Yeah, I was sick. It was aches. It was a mix of both. I was like, I just fell into a stomach virus.
That's wild. I have to like get up for a second because my nephew, I love him to death. He's on a 3-wheel scooter. It's got 2 wheels in the front, 1 wheel on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a Amazon Fire tablet that he's watching while he's scootering. I've told him like 10 times a day not to take his tablet outside, but let me go confiscate this tablet from him. So I just had to take this kid's tablet away. He's currently like going as fast as he can around in a circle. We have a pretty good sized driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a little bit of a slight downhill slant, so like you can pick up speed pretty fast. So he's like going around like 3 or 4 times in a circle, and he's trying to like go into the grass and like jackass style. Like,
how old is he?
He's like 5, 4.5, 5. He's like slightly older than my son. Such a daredevil. It's all hilarious. But the good thing is, the kids are outside. They've been outside for most of the day, to be honest with you, which is pretty cool. Now there's just more kids that are like just showing up that I have no clue who they are. It literally looks like the cast of like Stand By Me outside right now.
Hope they don't go walk and find a body.
For real, dude. One of the kids kind of looks like Kiefer Sutherland. He's got like bleach blonde hair. You're like, Jesus, y'all are nuts.
This is kind of off the rails, but I didn't want to forget to bring it up. Did you happen to see the Cubs game at all today?
No, last Cubs game I saw was...
No, hold on a second. Taylor's beeping. Okay. I have to go take care of a wasp. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Look at the Cubs box score if you get a chance.
Okay.
All right. So the Cubs have lost like 5 in a row now, I think.
Have they lost every game since the no-hitter? Because that was the last game I saw.
Correct. And I think at that point in time, we're tied for first place, and now they're 5 games back.
Jesus Christ.
I turned the game on in my car when I was getting out of work, and the Cubs scored 7 runs in the top of the first inning. And then the Brewers scored 1 in the bottom of the first, so it was 7-1.
Okay.
And then after the top of the second, Cubs didn't score. Bottom of the second, the Brewers scored 5. So it was 7-6. Nobody scored in the third. Cubs didn't score in the top half of the fourth. Right as we were getting, the last thing I saw before us starting recording was the last 4 runs of the 8-run bottom of the fourth inning. Jesus. When somebody hit a grand slam for the Brewers. So now it's 14-7 Brewers.
Wow. How do you score 7 runs in the first and not be winning the game?
In a Major League Baseball game.
That's wild, dude. That's aggressive. Like that's I don't know what it is with the Cubs. Cubs are like so hit or miss this year. Like they'll like I'll watch the games and I'll be like, they look like they're playing good, and then all of a sudden it's just like
I kind of think they were overperforming at the beginning of the year, and then it's kind of overcorrected.
yeah, now they're underperforming. Because I was thinking, because I kept telling my wife, I was like, dude, they're gonna trade Chris Bryant at the trade deadline. That was kind of the rumors to start the season. Maybe even trade Javi, maybe trade Rizzo. And
Right.
then they were in first, and I was like, it's gonna be hard for them to trade all those guys being in first place.
Oh,
And then
now it'll get a little easier.
yeah, it's weird. Bryant's been playing everywhere though. They've had him like every single position. It seems like
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Speaking of playing every position as a baseball player, have you seen what Otani's been doing lately?
He's so good.
Dude, ridiculous. Like, and I'm a baseball guy. Like, so like Darius we just put out a clip for the Man to Man podcast where Darius was talking about how is he the best ever? Because he's a casual fan, and he's like basically like, dude, he's like, I get MLB The Show and I play MLB The Show and I love MLB The Show, and I like, you create players and you create the dude that can throw 100 miles an hour, and then he can also like lead off and hit a home run, and you're like, that's never gonna happen. And then this dude's doing that, like, and he's like stealing bases, and it's like he's like, is he the greatest ever? And you're like, if he could sustain it, probably.
I know Trout's hurt right now,
Yeah,
but there's no reason the Angels should not be just like dominating everybody.
yeah. Everyone will say Trout is like the number one. I think it's if you look at the top, I think it's like top 11, maybe top 11 players on wins above replacement in like MLB history. I think Trout and Ohtani are on there.
Trout, I think I saw since like 2003, he's got the highest WAR of anybody that has played, like from 2003 till now. They might have did it from like Miguel Cabrera's career or something like that. And Trout's only been playing since like 2012.
That's wild. He's so good though. He's really good. And then you got Ohtani, and then they even have like Justin Upton, who's like still like not like what he used to be, but he's good. Like,
yeah,
they got players that they definitely. I don't know. You're like, what are you doing?
I think it's Vlad Guerrero Jr. has like 28 home runs already.
I wouldn't be
Something
surprised.
ridiculous right now.
Wouldn't be surprised. Because I mean, those dudes are hitting, and like it's crazy to see like the juniors. Like you got Vlad Guerrero Jr., you got Fernando Tatis Jr., you got like all these dudes that are like legacy guys.
There's like Bo Bichette and Kevin Biggio. Those are all just fucking Blue Jays.
Yeah, I know, dude. The Blue Jays were just like, oh, your dad was good at baseball. Let's bring you on. Oh, dude, it's wild though. But yeah, what Ohtani's doing is crazy. I think it's fun that he's going to be in the home run derby. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, I have to record it because it falls
during
in fairgrounds.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. Yeah, baseball is fun. It's just like it's interesting seeing other people. So like having like Darius's perspective, where like he's like a sports fan, but he's like they're not doing enough to promote like the players they have.
Right.
Like, yeah, like they're not. They're like the casual fan doesn't know who like Vlad Guerrero Jr. is, like, and that's crazy.
Right. Yeah, it really is insane. Like baseball's such an awesome game. Like, and we're biased here, but
we are. But it's true. Yeah,
it's the sport that you could put baseball players into football or basketball, and they could compete enough.
Yeah,
you could not stick those guys into a baseball game, and they could not compete.
Well, it's the skill. The skill of baseball is so tough. Like, right. I think people could field maybe like.
Oh yeah.
But being able to hit and do both at a high level enough to be at like a pro level would be real tough, I think.
Oh yeah, it's so hard to hit even an 80-mile-an-hour fastball. Hitting a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, there's no chance.
Yeah, for real. Well, the crazy thing in doing the producing for the Man to Man podcast is the number of like people who like their favorite sport, or like the sport that they like thought they were going to go pro in, was baseball.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those football players like love baseball, which is cool. I mean, especially when you're like, I mean, it makes sense because I think about it, a good portion of the season is in their off season. I mean,
Right.
makes sense. So
One of the
basketball's kind of goes over top of it a little bit.
Yeah, it overlaps. So one of the things that I always kind of enjoyed watching during All-Star, I guess not weekend since it's during the week, but was the Celebrity All-Star game. And then I saw that Brant played in that one in Wyoming.
Yeah.
I think that's my goal for all this. I want to get famous enough to be able to play in like a celebrity softball game.
Dude, I think we can do that. I wonder how I
want to play in that one Brant played in. I would love to go to Wyoming to play softball.
Yeah. We'll have to get Brant to get us the hookup. Brant's cool as hell. I love Brant. Hopefully we'll have Brant on next podcast.
It'd be fitting.
If the stars align, my plan was to have Brant on for episode 31 since he has a podcast called The 31. So that's the goal there. That would be super cool, like to play in like a celebrity like softball or baseball game. Like it would be dope as the celebrity. Yeah. Just like, yep, I'm the celebrity. It'd be interesting. Because like I feel like we could definitely get big enough to do that. Because you don't have because they always have like the local weatherman and some of those like I feel like we could get big enough.
Yeah, I'd like to get to that point just because we deserved it, not because we were like there's a Peyton, Colorado softball game.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
No, but I mean, if someone big's playing in it though, like
right? No, yeah, it'd be neat to play with like I don't know, Larry Walker.
Yeah, right. You're like fucking baseball players, dude.
Although I'd rather play with like football players and basketball players that aren't that good, so then I look good.
No, you're like, hey, I was on a team with Allen Iverson, and I hit better than I was 2 for 3, and he was 1 for 3. You know,
Bonzo Ellis or something.
Bonzo Ellis. It's a name I haven't heard in a hot minute.
Well, he was a Nugget, and he played for Notre Dame, so I thought it was fitting.
Yeah, he is. He definitely. He was like the 8th overall pick. By the way, I just pulled that out of my ass. Will you check that for me?
I can.
LaFonso Ellis, the number 8th pick, the year Christian Laettner, Shaq, Alonzo Mourning were the drafted. It was Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Christian Laettner, and then some people, and I believe LaFonso Ellis was the 8th pick.
So my internet is being slow on my phone, but it's loading. There we go. LaFonso Ellis, college, Notre Dame, 1988 to 1992. NBA draft, Denver Nuggets. Round 1, pick number 5.
Damn, I thought it was the 8th pick. Wonder who the 8th pick was that year.
I'll tell you in a moment.
I had it because that was the year McDonald's made. It was actually fitting because it was the year that the Dream Team was getting drafted or getting ready because Laettner was in that draft.
Mm-hmm.
And McDonald's did like, you know how they give out toys and stuff? McDonald's things was they gave you like a sealed wrap. I wish I still had some. I had a ton for a long time. It was 11 cards and it was the top 11 picks.
Okay.
So it was like Shaq. No, them.
Would you like to know the picks?
Yeah, go for it. Shaq was 1, right?
Yep.
Mourning,
you know who number 2 was? Alonzo Mourning.
3 was Christian Laettner.
Yep.
And then 4 was I want to say like Antonio McDyess was in that draft, but I'm definitely probably wrong.
Incorrect.
Who? Jimmy Jackson. That's right. I do know Tom Gugliotta was in that draft.
Tom Gugliotta was the 6th pick.
So it was Jim Jackson, and then it was Ellis, then it was Gugliotta.
And then the next name I recognize, I can read these off to you. Walt Williams was 7. Todd Day was 8.
Yep.
Clarence Weatherspoon was 9. Adam Keefe was 10. Robert Horry was the next name I recognized at number 11.
Who was number 10?
Adam Keefe.
Adam Keefe. Yeah, that's right.
Doug Christie was 17. Ooh, Don McLean was number 19. I don't think it's the singer, but
Definitely, probably not. Yeah, I think he was dead at that point.
and the choker. Well, he's not necessarily. He was.
Latrell Sprewell.
Yeah, I was gonna say choker makes it sound like he was choking at basketball. He was just choking at basketball.
He was choking a coach at basketball.
PJ Brown.
No, PJ Carlesimo.
Well, no, PJ Brown was another.
Oh, I was like, that was the guy who choked, was PJ Carlesimo.
But yeah, there's the 1992 NBA draft part of it.
Like, yeah. I mean, it got a little bit. I mean, the top three were good. Then it kind of went downhill a little. LaFontel's had a decent career, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played for like 9 years or 11 years or something, I think it just said.
Definitely. The 96 draft was my favorite draft of all time. I could pretty much recite that one pretty close. It was that was the Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant year. My favorite one. When I go back home on vacation, I'm going to see if my parents still have my card collection because I have like Kobe Bryant rookie cards and I have all that kind of shit.
Is it a Hornet rookie card or is it like a draft pick card?
I think I do have one where he has a Hornets hat on.
Nice. So
at the time, you'd get, even now, there's like they'll set up the draft, like the trades. So it's like, I think it's stupid. The trades can't get executed like in football. They can happen like night of and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you're never like, oh, the Bengals have the one pick. They traded the one pick to the Seahawks. This guy's going to get drafted as a Bengal, and then he'll become a Seahawk once it's like stupid. Basketball, like dudes will be like the two that I can think of, right, are Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. If you go and look at them and you don't know basketball's like that, both got drafted by the Denver Nuggets.
Rudy Gobert started COVID in the NBA.
That's right. Gave it to Donovan Mitchell. So like it's like stupid like that. Some like yeah. So I think I want to say there's a picture of him in a Hornets hat that they put on a card. I have it. But yeah, I had all of the good ones though.
So I record from my walkout basement, so I have a sliding glass door right next to me.
Yeah.
And I see a SUV in the cornfield, which a couple weeks ago, the people there's 10 acres kind of blocked off. Most of it's behind me, a little bit's next to me.
Yeah.
And the people we bought our land from have supposedly had this sold for a while, but the people were waiting for their house to sell or their grandparents' house to sell or something, or maybe they inherited a house. I don't know exactly. But it seems like that was a long time ago. That was like last summer. So I don't know how nothing has sold.
Yeah.
You know, like with the housing market.
It's been like a hot market. It's been like crazy hot market.
They've been coming out there. Apparently it's getting close to being a done deal. I guess they planted pumpkins out there in the middle of this like 10-acre spot. I don't know. But then, so it was all weeds because the farmers that normally farm it couldn't do anything with it. And it was all weeds up until about a week ago when the farmers came and plowed the entire thing. So I'm wondering if that fucked up their pumpkins that they were planting. But they don't own it yet, so I don't know.
That's crazy. Yeah. Why would you plant pumpkins on land that's not yours, technically?
Because it was supposed to be theirs. It's going to be theirs. I guess they asked, but I don't know.
That's wild. I would never do stuff like that. I feel like I have shit luck, though, so like that would always go negatively in my favor.
Right. And I mean, I guess it's just pumpkins, so it's not like they planted like a bunch of pot plants or something.
Yeah, but what if you're like, this would be my luck, right? Like, I'd be like, hey, can I plant pumpkins? I'm going to have them on there anyway. And they're like, yeah, no problem. We're still just figuring out the paperwork or whatever. And then I'd be like, sweet. And then like, I would plant them and then they would grow gold. And then people would be like, just kidding, we're not selling you the house.
Yeah. It's just like oil when you go down there to plant it.
Like, that would just be my luck. I'd be like, fuck. But no, it's crazy. We kind of have a thing like that for the podcast stuff. It's like you get these like deals done and then you can't really say nothing about it. It's like, yeah, it's weird.
He's talking about our podcast.
Yeah, I'm talking about all the podcasts.
Speaking of stuff with podcasts and the Iron Ostrich Network, with the podcast bracket that we did.
Yeah.
We never heard from Navid, did we?
Nope, I still have this title belt here. So I figure worst case scenario, this title belt's going to sit on my desk until Bert is done.
He said he was going to be in Serbia for 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he shouldn't be too much longer.
Done. Yeah. So I think I may reach out to him after 4th of July. I'll be like, hey, never got a hold of anyone. Where do you want me to send this thing?
Yeah. Maybe you have to check his tour schedule and see if he's coming to Comedy Works, and then you got to get with Brant. And
he's too big to come to Comedy Works.
I thought Comedy Works was pretty big.
It is, but it's like a 300 seat venue though.
Oh, didn't Tom play it?
Yeah, but it was like sold out like that. They were like, Tom sold out. I don't know if he's coming anywhere close. That would be hilarious though.
I'll check his web. You know what his website is? It always cracks me up.
Bert.com.
Bert.com.
You know why?
No.
It's It's I think it was like part of his like one of his comedy for his first jokes was like something about like you never hear something about Bert. It's like a Bert and Ernie joke, but it was like Bert like so it's crazy.
He's coming to Red Rocks.
That'd be dope. I think that one's sold out though. Is that the one that was already scheduled? I wonder. Probably
September 8th.
I would definitely be down to go. It's gonna be cold though.
September 8th.
Yeah. It'll start getting cold up there, dude. Because we live in a desert, dude.
Florida. He's in Florida for a while.
Does he have tickets? Is it tickets? Oh, tickets are still out there. Tickets select. Oh, tickets from $40 to $125. That's actually not bad.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
I definitely expected more for being at Red Rocks. Wonder if we can get some guys to come out. I'll go to Bert.
Bert in the Red Rocks. Especially if he's going to get the belt.
Right. All tickets purchased in rows of 2 and 4. So I have to have someone go with me. At least. Or buy 2 tickets.
So it just automatically re-scrolls back through. Because now I'm back to the Red Rocks one again.
I wonder what shape, dude. Oh, it's so weird how they have like the little pictures on them. Like it's Red Rocks is a weird venue to go see a show. It's a great venue to go see a show, but it's like all of the seating is the same.
Yeah,
but it's just like it's weird. So like, I'll show you on my thing. This will be a visual only, but like, okay, like shit, it's gonna redirect, because I'm an idiot. So
my mom did ask to go to Red Rocks.
See how like it's like that's like the seats. All of the seats are inside that like orange part. Okay, so like the light blue is what's still available, but like when you go into it, it shows you the seats. Like what do they kind of look like? You don't actually have a seat. It's like just like row seating.
Is it like a bench? Like
it's all like there's wood on the end, and then it's like stone because it was like carved out of the mountain. It's a beautiful place. It's got great acoustics. I would go see them.
My friend's parents, who are friends with my mom, just asked my mom to go out there the end of September for a concert. I think it is.
Nice.
Who is it? I can't remember. Like Cody Jinks or somebody like that.
Ted Nugent.
Huh?
Ted Nugent.
That would be about fitting. My mom sees Bob Seger like every other year.
Sounds about right. Your mom's probably the same age as my parents, I'm gonna guess. Or pretty close.
60. She'll be 62 in like a month.
So exactly the same age as my parents. My mom will be 61 in October, and my dad will be 61 in July.
July what?
July. I always fuck this up. I'm a terrible son because it's like the opposite of whatever day Father's Day is. So like one's like the 17th and one's like the 16th.
Well, Father's Day was in June.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like June. It's like same time frame as like Father's Day, but it's in July. So it's like I was like, I'm like, which fucking date is it? And I think it's the 17th. I think it's July 17th.
I always get not necessarily confused, and I figured out quick enough for those listening. But my mom's birthday is the 24th. My wedding anniversary is the 26th of July, and then my dad passed away on the 28th of July. So it's like somebody like, when's your wedding anniversary? I'm like, there's like 3 important dates right in a row in July. I have to think. I know it's not the 24th. I always get it. I know it's the 26th, Taylor, but
she's like, sure, motherfucker.
It's always something I gotta just think about because everything. And then my brother-in-law and sister-in-law got married on the 27th of July. So there's apparently it's a busy time.
I always forget what year we're on because we got married in April, and her grandma passed away on our wedding day. So
no, jeez.
And then part of the reason why we've been on hiatus a little bit here is her grandfather passed away on her birthday earlier this month. So it's been wild. It's been a wild, like, I'm like, that's crazy coincidences that they've been on special days, I guess. So
yeah,
but yeah, it sucks.
So what happened at work the other day?
Oh my god. Speaking of strange, right? So okay. So the field I work in, I'm in convenience stores and gas stations a lot, and like also grocery stores. And this happened in a grocery store. So I'm like stocking whatever I'm stocking, throwing up whatever I just brought in. This lady comes up from behind me, and I'm wearing a Lions hat. I'm actually wearing this hat right here, and I have it backwards, like I have it now. And she comes walking up behind me, and she's like, "Sir," and I don't have my earbuds in or nothing. I'm like, I could hear her, but I'm just like, I didn't want to turn around because I was like trying to finish what I was doing. I had like a couple more things to throw on the shelf, and I was like, I'll have them done by the time she's close. So I'm like, okay, give me a second. And I was like, and I turned around, and she's like this close to my face. And she's like, do you know where this thing is? And I was like, I don't. I'm just this person. I don't do this thing. I almost said what I did. And I was like, no, I don't know where it's at. I don't work here. And she was like, okay. I was like, I think it's 2 hours over though, if I'm thinking about it right. And she was like, okay. She walks back to her cart where she had 2 daughters with her. Turned out I didn't know at the time, but like she was like my mom's age. Like this lady was my mom's age. The 2 ladies with her were like our age. And so like I was like, she walked back to the cart. She turned around when she got back to the cart, and she kind of came at me like at a like kind of a quick pace, but like I was like, oh, she's gonna ask me something else. I was like, fuck. She came up and she grabbed my face, right? And she goes, "Are you Bobby?" And I was like, "No." And then she was like, "Are you sure you're not Bobby?" And I was like, "Definitely not Bobby." I was like dumbfounded, right? I'm like, bitch, like first she has my face like this. But she's a lady. I'm like, I can't, like, this day and age, I'm like, I'm not even gonna touch you because I'm like, I don't, right. I'm like, so I just keep. So like, one of the ladies that are with her come over and she's like, "Mom, get off of him." Like, she like takes me. She's like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "No problem." Like, yeah, like it's just like, and then I was like dumbfounded for like 5 minutes. I'm sitting in the aisle, like finishing my job. It's like, that would have been weird pre-COVID, but then it was like extra weird post-COVID. Like, yeah, like we're like we spent so much time like wearing masks and like keeping our distance and shit. Like, so it's weird. So then like 5 minutes later, like I'm just getting towards the end of what I got to do. One of the daughters comes down. She's like, "Hey," she's like, I just wanted to double back and say I'm sorry for that. That was she's only ever done that one time, and it was like a couple years ago. And I was like, it's okay, I guess. Like, she's like, they're like, COVID's kind of like really like messed her brain up. Like, she's like really like been like off a little bit. And I was like, I totally get it. I mean, it's, I get it. And she's like, she called you Bobby because like our brother went missing like 10 years ago. And we haven't seen him since. We never found remains or nothing like that. He just went missing. Wow. And she's like, you kind of resemble him. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, I think she just maybe got a flashback or whatever in the moment, and was like, whatever. And I was like, I totally get it. I get yeah, whatever. So then she's like, sorry again, blah, blah, blah. She leaves. Like 2 or 3 minutes later, the other daughter comes up the other way. So she's like, hey, she's like, I just want to say I'm sorry. And I was like, your other sister came like a couple minutes ago. She said, oh, okay. She's like, did she say anything to you? I was like, she kind of just told me, who Bobby was or whatever. And she's like, yeah. She's like, she hasn't really done anything like that. Like, just very weird. And she's like, I'm sorry again. Like, sorry you had to deal with that. And I was like, no. I was like, it is what it is. And as she's like walking away, she like turned around and she's like, are you wearing a Lions hat? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you from Michigan? I was like, originally, yeah, from Michigan, like born there. I was like military brat, so I didn't live there like super long, but like I've lived there off and on multiple times. And she was like, oh, she's like, what part? And I was like, well, I'm from Lansing. And she was like Lansing, Michigan? And I was like, well, we're talking about Michigan. And so yeah.
She's like, are you sure you're not Bobby?
Like, and she was like, that's where we're from, Lansing, Michigan. I was like, that's weird. And she's like, just for shits and giggles, she's like, because you do kind of look like him. She's like, when were you born? Like, how old are you? And I was like, I was born in 1983. And she was like, so was Bobby. so then she was like, we ended the conversation. She left. Nothing else happened with them. And then I called my wife on the way out. And I was like, hey, this is weird shit just happened. I just explained this to her. And then she was like, did you ask to see a picture? And I was like, no, I didn't ask to see a picture. I didn't even think about it. I should have, though.
You should have got their info, and we should have had them on the podcast. Should have came into true crime.
Like, hey. So
if he went missing like 10 years ago, he would have been missing at like, what, 28?
Or 27, depending on the time.
Have you Googled Bobby missing Lansing?
No, because I don't think he went missing in Lansing, though. But then I was like, I do have a cousin Bobby, but like he's not missing, and also doesn't look anything like me. So
I think you really lucked out there that your name wasn't Bobby, or they didn't ask, or their brother's name wasn't Anthony.
Dude, that'd have been wild. Are you Anthony? Yeah, I actually am.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
Or you had like a weird thing where you just called older lady's mom. Like, yeah, what's up, mom?
Yeah, dude. So then I had one more store after that. I was telling the lady at that store the story. She's like, that's so weird. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, the thing that weirds me out though is like, right, I'm like, if this lady came up to me and I was Bobby, I would know that was my mom. Right?
You would think so.
Like, I can't imagine she's changed in looks that much in 10 years. Where I was like,
years. Right.
And so I'm like, or I'd noticed like the two ladies with her were my sisters. Right. So then I'm like, what do you think you're going to accomplish at that point by grabbing my face? Like, do you think I'm just going to be like, yep, I'm Bobby, mom, you caught me?
Right. Because at that point, if you're stocking shelves in a store because you are, and you went missing as an adult, you wanted to go missing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I could have totally just lied to you, lady. Nope, not Bobby.
That's crazy.
That's why I was like, damn, I wish I would have seen him. I wish I would have asked to see if they had a picture of him just to see how close of a resemblance it was. Because, sometimes you look at somebody and you're like, that person is that person. Yeah. But then you see like another picture and you're like, they look nothing like that person. Yeah. There's actually the lady who plays Captain Marvel. I can't think of her name.
Brie Larson.
She's in this car commercial where she's like supposed to look like she's from the 80s. She's got like a crimped hair and stuff, and like she's driving. And every time I see it, I think she is the lady that's married to Ben Stiller from Hey Dude.
Oh, she was in Dodgeball. We were just watching that the other night.
Yeah. Every time, but just in that one spot, I'm like, she looks like her there, but she doesn't look like her anywhere else. So,
the other night I watched. I think it was Comedy Central. Comedy Central and PBS and TNT always have like good movies on. Yeah. And I watched like 3/4 of Talladega Nights and like half of Dodgeball. I was like, this is awesome. I'm like in high school again. Instead of Step Brothers comes on next, I'll be golden.
Dude, give me 1 second. By the way, this is how you know we're good husbands, by the way. My wife just texted me, right? This is the dumbest shit ever. Well, she texted me a bunch of dumb shit, but My wife just said, "Is Vin shirtless?" My nephew's outside without a shirt on. She's like, maybe he shouldn't be. I'm like, are you worried about a suntan? Because don't think you should need to worry about it. But then she's like, check on something for me when you can. In the shower, see if there's like a bottle of her shampoo. I'm like, so I gotta go run and check the shower real quick. But I'm like, she knows I'm doing a podcast.
I had to go kill a wasp, so
You killed a wasp. I'm about to go check shampoo. Figure out what we're gonna end this bad boy with. Maybe do a county fair draft. Figure out how that would work out.
okay.
Figure out what we could draft.
I think I got it.
Okay. Did you figure this draft out?
I would say food is the best option for the fair.
Food? Okay. These kids outside. They're goofy as hell, you know. Dude, I'm wearing like an old school CP3 shirt.
Yeah.
This fall. It's like when you play for the New Orleans team.
Yeah.
Drake. I think they were the New Orleans Hornets, though. When you played for them.
Charlotte Hornets.
Nope. They are the Charlotte Hornets now, and they were the Charlotte Hornets, but they were the New Orleans Hornets for a little bit, too.
Were they anything before the New Orleans Hornets, or did they move from Charlotte to New Orleans, and then they became the Pelicans or something? Is that right? Or was there something in between?
So the Charlotte Hornets were a team. They moved to New Orleans. They were the New Orleans Hornets. Then they became the Pelicans, and then the Hornets became a team again. But long time ago, the Utah Jazz were actually the New Orleans Jazz.
Gotcha. And now, are they the Bobcats in Charlotte and New Orleans?
No, because they were the Charlotte Bobcats. I think now they're the Hornets, though.
Okay.
Bobcats are gone. Get out of here, Bobcats.
Just waiting for the Supersonics.
Fucking, you would think, right? You would think. So drafting of the county fair food. Okay. I feel like you might have an upper hand on me on this one.
Yeah. I also have, I invited Taylor down to do the draft with us,
yes.
But 3 children is not going to allow that.
Oh, man. You can't get our picks via text.
I could call her.
Yeah, you should call her real quick and be like, we need you to submit your answers via text.
Well, she gave me, I don't know if she'd be able to hear. She just told me like a shit ton of things. So.
Oh yeah. She gave you all your picks.
No, I was just like, it told her. She's like, I was made for this.
I mean, we could phone her in.
Hey, let's see if you can hear her.
I could probably hear her.
Hello.
We're gonna try to phone you in for this draft. Talk.
I texted you my updates.
I know, but we were just seeing if you can be heard on the phone.
Okay.
So we can give Taylor the first pick.
Can you hear Tone?
Yeah. Oh,
Tone, can you hear Taylor? Can you hear her?
What am I supposed to say?
Pick a fair food.
But there's so many.
So this is my wife, by the way, with the first pick.
She's been on the show as a host one time.
Okay. First, I'm nervous. The first pick has to be the fried veggies. The bucket, the sampler bucket.
Deep fried veggies.
Fried
And
veggie
if you
sampler
save your
bucket?
bucket, you save money next year.
Fried veggie sampler bucket.
All right.
That's legit.
Do you want second or third, Tone?
I'll take third because I feel like that way I'll take the first wrap.
All right. I am going to take, and a lot of these are going to be specialized to our fair, I'm assuming.
That's fine.
My favorite thing, the first thing I get every year there is the walleye fish sandwich, and it's awesome.
Okay. Walleye fish sandwich. Legit.
With the raspberry iced tea, right?
Yeah, the raspberry iced tea is awesome.
I wonder if that's that changes depending on where you're at, like if it's just a different fish.
This is
Maybe.
Tom's Tasty Taters.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a local place, but yeah, I don't know if other fairs have.
I'm gonna go with fried Oreos. I love fried Oreos, deep fried Oreos.
All right.
was deep fried butter at the drive-through thing last year.
That's too much, I think.
It's like melts.
Yeah, that doesn't even seem like it would make sense. I've had this at a fair, and so I will take it because I feel like it worked. There was this massive baked potato that had like everything on it, and I'm not having everything on my baked potato, so it's basically like but it had like meat on it too.
All right.
So it was like it was a loaded baked potato with like it was like called like a shotgun spud or something like that.
Huh. So this one of my other things. I usually only get it once because it kind of doesn't necessarily always sit well, but it tastes so good. It's called a pork parfait. It's got barbecue sauce, mashed potatoes, and like pork or beef. You can get with either one in a cup, and it's like a ice cream parfait, but it's just like beef and mashed potatoes and stuff. It is very good.
It's kind of like what I had, except for not quite. It's a little different.
Yeah. All right, Taylor, 2 picks.
Okay, next are the pickle barrel steak tips. It's really good steak tips, mashed potatoes, onions, peppers, and mushrooms all sauteed together. So good.
It sounds so amazing. We all went like baked potato-y potatoes with our second pick.
Yeah.
Potatoes are my favorite food.
But she's what you'd call a potato.
Oh, dang.
I'll take it.
Take it. That's a sure idea.
So I get to go again? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. This isn't like a typical fair food, but there's the Chinese food place that has a stand there, and you get the pork on a stick with fried rice and an egg roll, and it's the best Chinese food.
It's super good.
Dope. I want to hear your guys' fair.
It is very good. Yeah, I just put the phone away a little bit. So we got the walleyes. Addie.
Addie's having it. She's like,
I'm gonna take. I enjoy the cinnamon and sugar elephant ear.
Good.
Because there's different things you can get on it. You can get powdered sugar or whatever. I like the cinnamon sugar.
I like that. It's not bad. All right, I'm gonna take funnel cake.
Funnel cake?
Funnel cake.
What do you put on your funnel cake?
What do you put on your funnel cake?
It depends. You can give me like a standard funnel cake and I'm good. Like, but like I usually get like some kind of fruit though. Or syrup. I've done that too.
I like
powdered sugar.
Yeah,
powdered sugar for sure. It's always on mine. I don't count it as a funnel cake unless it has powdered sugar on it. So
seems fair.
You gotta have the action. And then I'm gonna go because I have gotten them at a fair, so I feel like I can count this. Give me just either Dippin' Dots or ice cream in a baseball helmet.
All right,
taking it.
So, looking at my list here, which I mean was essentially created by the wife, but it's all food I like. Oh man, what? You kind of taken a few of my picks there, wife.
Well, considering we do all Fair Week together.
So during the hog show every year, they just give you like a pork chop wrapped in aluminum foil that you can just gnaw on.
That one's good.
And that's awesome. I want just that plain old pork chop. It's like $5 and you just get like to walk around eating a pork chop.
That's dope. Is that like the replacement for like the like turkey leg on a thing?
Kinda. It's just they only do it during the day of the hog show, and it's just like to raise money for. I think. Is
it actually like hogs from the hog show?
Not like from the show, but it's
like a
local. It's local.
George Deutschers, who lives down the road from us.
Yeah, the guy that lives down the road from us.
Gotcha. So it's local, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I guess Taylor gets to wrap it up with her last 2 picks.
Okay.
So you have the fried veggie sampler bucket, steak tips, and Chinese food. So far.
Okay. So next I have to do. There's a local family that sets up they have like this huge corner booth, and they sell ears of corn and dip it in a vat of butter.
Just corn on the cob, like an ultimate corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Yeah, but theirs is so good.
That's dope. I love corn.
And your last pick, dearest?
Churros with ice cream.
Churros with ice cream.
The churros are filled with caramel.
Nice.
Churros filled with caramel and ice cream.
So how's the layout on that? Like, is it churros on the bottom, or they top it with the churros? Do they crunch the churros
It's like
up?
a
Is it full?
side by side sort of thing.
Okay.
And when I was pregnant with Claire, the lady knew me by name.
Oh, it's always good.
Yeah, it was a good deal for her when she's pregnant.
Love being pregnant fair. I missed out last year.
So was it like I'm picturing it when you said it side by side. For some reason, I pictured it like a banana split where there's like two churros on each. It's like
That's how they should do it.
No, it's like 5 churros, like in one part of the plastic container, and then ice cream on the other. I think that place also had the cookie dough, right?
Yeah, they also had edible cookie dough.
They had edible as cookie dough.
Yeah.
this kind of
Not in
crazy.
Indiana. Indiana will be the last state that does that.
Oh no, I was wondering. So while I have you, this is going to go off the rails a little bit. When you do because my favorite thing ever is I don't really like ice cream all that much, to be honest with you, and I don't like cake all that much. But if it's a birthday, you give me like a warm cake, like warmish cake with like ice cold ice cream. The hot cold. Is it like the churros are the churros like warm, or are they just like?
Yeah, they're warm. They make they'll cook them right there.
I like that.
So then the ice cream gets kind of melty.
Yeah,
That sounds like it would be awesome.
it is very good. The Fair Week is a high calorie, high money week.
We budget all year.
Yeah, damn right.
So my last pick, it's very good, and it's usually the first thing open. So that's what we end up getting, but it's so stupid expensive.
I don't like those people either.
Taylor doesn't really care for the people that run it, but
Hopefully they're not fans of the podcast.
I'm sure they're not. They're just cool. But it's essentially a steak and a hamburger sandwich. They call it the market steer. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And it's usually the first thing open. They open up while kids are unloading, so we end up getting it. But
Because they're fair people.
I'm sure it's $15 a sandwich this year. It's dumb, but it's very good.
It's like a steak hamburger sandwich, basically.
Yep, with onions, and you can get cheese on it and stuff.
Heck yeah, I like that.
And the
I
lady
like
that grills has to be older than Moses. She's so old.
They got some old broad cooking.
Hey, that means she knows what she's doing. She's been doing it forever. She can do that in her sleep. She's probably already dead, actually. She's probably just going through the motions.
Well, we haven't been there for 2 years, so it's hard telling.
I don't think she's dead.
Let's see. What do I want to finish this out with? I have so to finish yours out. You had a walleye fish sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I just didn't write down the second one. What did you have for the second? Okay, yeah, straight pork parfait. I put pork arfie. I don't know why. I crossed one out. I didn't put the other P in. Elephant ear, pork chop, and steak hamburger sandwich. Burger. I don't know. So I have a deep fried butter. No, I put down deep fried butter. I have deep fried Oreo because we were talking about it. Deep fried Oreos. I had loaded baked potato with shotgun split, basically. Funnel cake, ice cream, and a baseball helmet. And then I'm going to do a pulled pork sandwich.
A what?
Pulled pork sandwich. Where I'm from, our county fair, we have this amazing pork place that has the best pulled pork sandwich, and it's in a gas station. And every time they do the fair, they set up a booth, and it's so good.
That sounds good.
It's the best ever. It's crazy. People will go that gas station will be busy, and people will oh, people just need gas and stuff. No, they're just going in to get pulled pork
Just getting
sandwiches.
sandwiches. All right, Taylor. Thank you for your drafting expertise.
Claire wants to say corn dogs and pizza.
Okay.
We'll add that on. Corn dogs
All right.
and pizza.
All right. Bye.
That's funny. Corn dogs and pizza, man.
Yeah, it's like 3 meals a day for a full week out there. It's insane. We try to eat breakfast, but like there's churches there for like $4 or $5. You can get like a couple pancakes, sausage, and eggs.
Dude, nothing is better than the church like set up booths. They're always like a lot of food and way too cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
why.
we normally end up doing that, especially like with getting all the kids ready this year. There will be not, because we got to get up there early enough, so there's not going to be time to eat breakfast at home.
We actually have it's becoming a trend. We have a lot of food trucks down here,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of our food trucks are actually doing both now. They're like going to have a food truck, and then they've built actually like shops now, stores now. So there's this one place it's called like Roll Up Food Truck or whatever. They have like amazing breakfast burritos, and they're so cheap, and there's so much food, and it's great.
I love a good breakfast burrito.
It's like you're like you get it, and you're like, I definitely should have paid you like $10 for this $3 burrito.
Man, that sounds good. I should get a breakfast burrito before work tomorrow if my stomach will allow.
Breakfast. I'm gonna help you gain that 8 pounds back.
And it'll come back during fair.
Dude, it's crazy. Actually, last time I did like a fair thing. Maybe it's because I'm getting old or whatever, or a lot of my food, because my son doesn't really eat a ton of things. Like he's like picky, but he's also in that influential mode where it's like he's like, Dad's eating it, so I'll try it. So like I shared most of my food with him because I was just like, I don't know, I'm gonna be able to eat like 3 times today.
Taylor ends up sharing her food with Claire. There's no point of buying Claire food. Addie eats better than Claire does.
It's weird how you get kids that like will eat everything and kids that won't eat nothing. But yeah, actually, speaking of that, how I'll end this. How was your Father's Day? Since we haven't talked since Father's Day.
It was good. It was a busy day. We had church. I had a softball game, and we had a t-ball game, and then we had a cookout.
Nice. Because did you get anything good for Father's Day as a presents?
I was a lot. So I still have a golf trip, not golf trip, but I have a day where I can golf after work in the bank, so to speak.
Nice.
I used up my nap when I was sick. I was like, I need to use my birthday nap, and then I got a shirt that said "Girl Dad."
Nice.
What? How was your Father's Day?
It was good. I got a bunch of like random shit, like the usual. I was like socks and underwear. Like as the kids picked me some weird shit. Actually, I still haven't even used 95% of it. So like, this is the kind of shit they get for a grown ass man. You're like
MTV underwear.
You're like, why is it 7 different colors?
That's
I'm like,
when stuff like that would come on the TV. If I was at a friend's house, they would always be like, "Hey, what color is this? What color is this?" Because of being colorblind.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that makes sense. I did get another shirt which I haven't worn yet. I need to. It's this one. It's kind of like on your Grill Dad one. It says the best dads have daughters who play basketball.
Did you say Grill Dad?
Is that what you said? I thought that's what
Grill
you said.
Dad.
Oh, I thought you said I thought it said Grill Dad.
No, Girl Dad.
I thought it was like a play on words.
No, I can't go worth a shit.
Well, that was my big gift. My big gift, I got one of those because our girl just took a shit basically and was like, "Nope, I'm not gonna work no more." So I've been hinting at my wife for a while that I wanted a replacement, but when we were gonna replace it, I wanted one of those like griddle top ones.
Yeah.
So I got a Blackstone griddle, like grill, I guess.
Taylor was just saying the other day she wants one of those.
I haven't used it yet. I think tomorrow I plan on breaking it out for the first time. So I built it the other day, and then it's been sitting in the garage, and I got to move it. So
before we go, I have honorable mentions for the fair food draft.
Let's go.
Loaded fries, which is
loaded fries are good.
Field of fries with everything on it.
Yeah.
Strawberry shortcake. They do
strawberry shortcake. I was trying to think of something in strawberry because we have the Strawberry Fest, which is like our fair back in Virginia, and there's a whole bunch of strawberry stuff, but I can't think of anything good.
And I'm very surprised she did not draft this one. There's these taco salad buckets where it's like a bucket and it's just taco salad.
That's why. So does it have the shell, or is it strips?
It's just like crunched up.
Oh, got you. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever even order that, but she loves it. Everybody seems to love it. And if you save the buckets for that or the fried veggies, you get a couple bucks cheaper when you get a refill.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, why not then? Dude, that's the thing that saves me like $1 zillion. We don't go to the movies often. I guess we go to the movies enough. My wife takes kids. I'm usually working on the weekends, so she takes the kids. But like, we bought like one big cup and one big like refillable like popcorn thing, and that thing has saved us like $1 zillion probably.
Yeah, we have a cabinet full of different fair food receptacles that they bring back every year.
Right? You're like, I always get those like big like. I always feel stupid. Those people are stupid. They get those like they look like beer bongs. Like, so they're like big at the bottom, but they like super thin through the middle, and then they kind of funnel out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're just carrying a large, small drink, basically. Like, it gets super tight in the middle. Like,
I drank a bunch of those in Vegas because they were like, but they're huge. Like, there's a lot of on them, and Long Island's in them, and that was just a terrible idea.
That's a good way to black out.
That's pretty much what happened.
That's a good way to black out. Well, Jems, I mean, speaking of Vegas, and speaking of next episode being the 31, I'm going to hope that we get a Vegas-ish kind of guy who has an affiliation with the number 31 on next week. So.
I hope so, because I have a bachelor party coming up next spring there that I would like some tips for.
All right, we're definitely gonna get him on. I'm gonna shoot it out to him. We're gonna try to get him on. Hopefully, we'll get Brant Tobler on the podcast next week. Thanks everybody for listening to episode number 30. Sorry we were gone for a little bit, but hopefully you guys understand. And we'll try not to do that again anytime in the near future. So we'll see you guys. And also, who shows it anyway? We'll be coming back too. So we have one in the can, and then we'll be recording more. So be on the lookout for those.
All right.
All on the Iron Ostrich Network.
Yes.
Go check out the anomalies. All right, we are out of here. Jems, any final shots?
I got nothing. See you guys next week-ish.
Sounds good. Deuces. We're out.